The Portrait of a Lady by Khushwant Singh. CBSE Class 11. This is the first chapter of the textbook Hornbill. In this lesson, I am going to discuss some important examination oriented questions and answers. A short answer type question needs to be answered in about 40 words and it carries 2 marks. But first, let me tell you something about the story. In this story, the author draws a pen portrait of his grandmother. It is his insight about her through his own eyes. He beautifully unfolds his relationship with her while describing her appearance and daily activities. Let's begin with the questions and answers. Give a brief physical description of grandmother. Answer. Grandmother was a very old lady with a wrinkled face. She appeared to be so old that it was hard to believe that she had once been young and pretty. She was short, fat, and a little stooped in appearance. Her silvery white hair used to spread out on her wrinkled face. She limped around the house in spotless white, with one hand resting on her waist to balance her stoop, and the other busy in telling the beads of her rosary, while her lips moved constantly in silent prayers. Question 2. Give a brief description of grandfather's portrait. Answer. Grandfather's portrait hung above the mantelpiece on the wall of the drawing room. He wore a big turban and loose fitting clothes. His long white beard covered the best part of his chest. He looked very old and grandfatherly, as if he was at least 100 years old. Looking at his picture made one visualize that he could have lots and lots of grandchildren, but it was hard to believe that he was once young and had a wife or children. Question. Why was it hard for the author to believe that his grandmother was once young and pretty? The author had only seen and known his grandmother for the last 20 years of his life. That was his age. By that time, she was already an old woman. She was short, fat, and slightly stooped in stature. So, it was very difficult for him to believe the stories of his grandmother's beauty in her younger days. He had formed a typical image of her in his mind. Hence, to hear about the games that she played as a child seemed absurd and undignified. Question. How could the grandmother be beautiful without being pretty? Or, in other words, the grandmother had a divine beauty. How does the author bring this out? Answer. Grandmother was never physically attractive, but she reflected a divine beauty that came from within. She was a symbol of peace and contentment. Her noble virtues gave her a spiritual beauty. The author brings out the inner beauty of the grandmother by comparing her to a snow covered winter mountain landscape. This comparison shows her calmness and serenity. Question. Draw a contrast between the village school and the city school. Answer. The village school was attached to a temple, and the grandmother and grandson would walk to reach it. The teacher was a priest, and prayers were taught along with the alphabet. Rote learning, wooden slates lathered with yellow chalk, ink pots, and ink pens were used to facilitate learning. In the city school, the grandson travelled by a motor bus. The grandson learnt English, science, and music. There was no teaching of God or the scriptures. Question. What was the turning point of their friendship? Answer. The turning point came when the author and his grandmother moved to the city. Though they shared the same room, she no longer accompanied him to the school as the author started going in a bus. As years rolled by, they saw less of each other. Her role in his upbringing greatly reduced. In spite of her immense interest in his studies, she could not help him as he was learning English, laws of gravity, Archimedes' principle, and many other such things which she could not understand, and this distressed her. Question: what was grandmother's typical routine both in the village and in the city? Answer: in the village, she would get the author ready for school. She dressed him up, gave him breakfast, and would accompany him to school. As it was attached to the temple, she would read the scriptures while the children learned alphabets. But after she came to the city, there wasn't much to do. So she would sit and do some clothing work in her spinning wheel, and in the afternoon she would feed the sparrows. Question: why did grandmother disapprove of the city education? How did she express it? Answer: the grandmother disapproved of the truth that Khushwant was not learning about God and scriptures in the school. Instead, he was getting music lessons, which was not respectable as it was lewd in her belief. To her, music was not meant for gentle folk. It was intended only for beggars and prostitutes. She highly disdained them. She was dismayed and withdrew herself to some extent. Perhaps she had realized that her prominence in molding her grandson had diminished, and this very thought affected her gravely. Her disapproval and disdain was reflected in her silence. How did the grandmother celebrate the homecoming of her grandson? Answer: grandmother was overjoyed when her grandson returned home after completing his higher education. She collected the women of neighborhood and was in the mood of celebration. She beat the dilapidated drum and sang for hours about the homecoming of warriors. It was the first time in so many years that she did not pray. Question: why did grandmother stop talking before her death? Answer: the grandmother had been diagnosed with a mild fever by the doctor, but she knew that her end was near. She decided to spend the last few hours of her life reciting prayers and telling the beads of her rosary. She did not want to waste any more time talking to anybody. The family members protested, but she ignored their protests. Soon, her lips stopped moving and the rosary fell from her lifeless fingers. Question: how did the sparrows mourn the death of grandmother? Answer: the sparrows gathered in thousands around grandmother's dead body. They mourned the death of the grandmother in utter silence. They ignored the breadcrumbs thrown at them by the author's mother and flew away silently after the body was carried away for cremation. The breadcrumbs were swept away by the sweeper the next morning. That was their way of showing respect to their patron. That was part 1 of the question and answer series. The explanation of the chapter can be found in the description box. Do look out for part 2, where I'm going to take up some more short answers and also some long answer type questions for complete revision. If you learned from this video, do like, share, comment, and subscribe to my channel. If you want more questions from this chapter, then also drop a comment.